Good morning to all. Today I feel very happy to introduce our resource person, Mr. L. Ethirajan. He studied BSc and MSc at Sri Ramakrishna Mission Vidyalaya College, Coimbatore. Also did PGDIM, PGDMM from Indira Gandhi Open University. Completed Associate Diploma in Life Insurance with Insurance Institute of India, Mumbai. In the year 1991, worked as a sport executive in DRG Leather Cloth Private Limited, Tirupur. Then joined as Rural Welfare Officer in Tamil Nadu government 1 year at Tiruchendur. Joined a life insurance corporation in the year 1993 in clerical cadre, later elevated as development officer. Acted as secretary of Coimbatore chapter of Insurance Institute of India for 3 years. Served the institute for 8 years in different positions like joint secretary, etc. Worked as a faculty at Divisional Training Center for 4 years. During the period of his secretary post in Insurance Institute of India, Coimbatore chapter, assisted Department of Commerce, Sri Ramakrishna Mission Vidyalaya Arts College to develop a diploma course in insurance. Developed a diploma course in Gandhigram Rural Institute, Dindigul, and helped taking classes. So we are very happy on behalf of AJK College of Arts and Science. We are welcome you, sir. So it's a great honor to you here for this wonderful session. So I extend my welcome to my faculty member and my beloved students for this wonderful webinar session. Once again, welcome you all. Thank you, sir. Now the session is over to you.
Good morning to all, and I wish to thank you, the AJK College management and the principal of AJK College, for giving me a wonderful opportunity to share my points on the insurance area, which is very newly emerging cyber risk, insurability on cyber risk. Even though it is not available in worldwide, it is very shortly available in USA and a few countries in the world. It is a very emerging new topic, which I am going to discuss with you. And thank you for Madam for giving me this opportunity. Since I have exposure into the area where Life Insurance Corporation of India, Coimbatore, I am working with life insurance. But since I have some exposure in insurance subjects like general insurance and other area, also having some exposure to take classes to people, I am having the pleasure to... students, it's time to start, and I'll start from where the insurance, what is insurance? We can say insurance is one of the intangible product which is available all over the world. And in India, it is right from the 1800s, the policy insurance is in the market. Of course, insurance is a means of protection from financial loss. Practically, we feel it as compensation for the financial loss. It is a form of risk management, primarily used to hedge against risk of a contingent or uncertain loss. Any uncertain events happening without our control will be taken care of by the insurance companies. They will compensate it in an equivalent financial measure equivalent to the insured amount. Actually, insurance is something, a compensation, that's all. In this area, there are some basic principles which governs the insurance, which namely called as utmost good faith, insurable interest, proximity clause, indemnity, and so on. There are six concepts which almost in every insurance contract, these all the principles should be adhered. And if the insurance principles are found, only the insurance, if it is found, then only the insurance is given. Utmost good faith is It is a pure contract between two parties for short term or long term, but the contract should be at more reliable on both sides. They should have the clear insurable contract which has no untrue statements in both sides. The statements of discussion and contract must be purely clear and utmost good faith. The other thing, there is insurable interest. Insurable interest is very simple, where there is a much more loss than the actual insured amount. That is, if the party is not in a position to compensate with the loss, but the loss is uncertain, then there will be a compensation given by the insurance company. That is, the person should not intentionally lose the product or the insured item, either it is life or non-life. If they are intentionally losing, they may not get the insurable interest. Then the insurance purpose is not fulfilled. Proximity clause and indemnity are some legal terms where the proximity clause is essential, as well as indemnity. They should have the indemnity between both. They should have the assurance of giving on both sides a contract like give and take. One should give, the other person should take. Other person should give, the opposite person should take. This is the basic indemnity purpose, and some other principles are there. These are all basic important principles which we can discuss. And in insurance, there are mostly wide range of insurance we know. Basically, the insurance area is classified into three things. One is life insurance, other one is non-life insurance, that is general insurance. The third one now recently emerged in India and it is very popular for years, which is health insurance. Very recently, in right from 2017, we can call it as the new arrived concept, which is cyber risk insurance. Of course, these are all some areas where life insurance is totally protecting the financial loss of individual who is the breadwinner of the family. When he is not there, then the family will suffer a lot, and the compensation is made by the insurance company for the purpose of replacement. It cannot be a replacement, but some sort of compensation. That is, in the undue event happens to a in life insurance, that is a person who is taking policy, if he is losing his life, then the life insurance company will compensate the insured amount for the family. That is generally in life insurance. But for any other insurance like vehicle insurance, liability insurance, marine insurance, cargo insurance, or fire insurance, or household article insurance, there is a lot of varieties of insurance. Those all are coming under general insurance category, and in those categories, individual company, individual person, and individual articles, so many items are insured with. Even you people will be more aware of the insurance of a mobile phone, laptop, or something. These are all utility articles which are insured. So insurance is a compensation if an undue or uncertain event happens, then the compensation is managed. Health insurance, of course, it is being health maintenance become very costly nowadays to compensate that particular thing, even because it is an undue uncertain event. So if a person getting some uncertain expenses due to health reasons, then he has to compensate with the expenses. He has to manage it. Further, he can take an insurance, and that insurance can be given by health insurance provider. That medical treatment and allied things will be taken care of by the insurance, and it is very popular in the developed countries, and recent years it is very common and popular in India too. Of course, the new concept, the cyber risk insurance, it is a insurance concept which is emerged and evolving in recent days. We are all knowing that a lot of things happening in and around us. Of course, yes, we can take it as one point which is easily understandable by us. That is, for the sake of taking a mobile phone data. The data stealing is a recent days problem for every people. So any data stolen or non-retrievable may be sometimes worse than normal, like ordinary thing. So those things should be insured is the demand of the parties and the companies of the multinational companies are thinking about it, and there is a concept arrived. If you take about the definition of cyber risk, the term cyber risk refers to a multitude of different sources of risk affecting the information and technology assets of a firm. Mostly it is concerned with the high investing firms or recently on focus, and those companies are having the idea of taking insurance based on the cyber risk. So the actual term cyber risk refers to the information and technology assets. So we can define cyber risk as operational risk to information and technology assets that have consequences affecting the confidentiality and availability or integrity of the information and information system. So the thing may be due to operational risk or technological risk or some other unexpected event or risk. All those things may affect the information and information systems. The system may be get affected, or the data may be get affected, or even the integrity of the data source may be affected. All those things can be covered, and it is under designing and development. Of course, these are all the area where the cyber risk is focused on. If a concern like OnePlus International, which is an US-based company, which has very high investment, and they lose some sort of data which are kept in their software, hardware, or some computer or somewhere. If it is lost, what happened was the experience of the initially brought out thing. It has lost about 24,000 servers of 24,000 of computers and laptops were suddenly damaged. Commercial supply to the distribution disturbs theft of contaminant from many users, and unfulfilled customers' orders soon followed. These particular corruption led them to face $100 million loss. It is a very huge loss faced by the company. The PPT has gone out. Okay, in the meanwhile, I'll continue with the cyber risk. Cyber risk, as we told, it is a data corruption or data malfunction related issue. This can be categorized into particularly four major categories. Particularly, we can call it as action of people. Some reason due to people may affect the data of a company or the firm. Sometimes the second reason may be of a system related. The system related things which may be of different reasons. For example, a system itself may get corrupted, or inadequacy of system support, or some other lack of things. Sometimes the system may be hacked or something. In those areas, the system related issues will be mostly handled with the technical support, and all those things can be resolved with the major support of the expense. Sometimes it cannot be retrieved because the support from the institution or some other things may not be that much convenient, because the data lost cannot be easily retrieved. Most of the data might have lost due to some other reason which are unpredictable or unretrievable. If it is retrieval area, then the thing may be retrieved. But since it is out of reach, means how the company can do it. So they have to start from the scratch. That will incur a lot of losses to the company, and that is why cyber risk is particularly focused due to system technology failures. In other area where we can say is the third category, internal process. Some process method of the company may sometimes affect the internal process, which will be a reason for data inadequacy and defined responsibilities may be missed. Above all those things, there are certain factors which affect the actual data loss, which are external even. We can call it as external, unpredictable as well as unmanageable reasons. This can be simply called as simple example is fire. If suddenly a company gets fire, then what the company can do? They cannot do anything with the retrieval of all those data. For example, if we go in detail with these four categories of cyber risk, first thing, action of people. Action of people can be categorized into three groups. Simply inadvertent, which is unpredictable happenings of the working people. Unintentional, it may be unintentional action without any intentional, malicious or harmful intention. But it may be mistakes, it may be errors, it may be omission, but it will affect the company's data storage or something. And this may affect the cyber. Of course, deliberate. There may be some people intentionally they will do some mistakes and some fraud activities, theft or vandalism, whatever reason. It will affect the data storage. Of course, another one thing, the third of personal action of people can be called as lack of action or failure to act in the given situation. Inaction. If they may be knowing having the knowledge, they may be knowing that it is very important, but lack of action, they may not be in a position to take action in time. That may also cause to loss of things. So these are all some areas where personal intervention which make loss of data. These are all one category. Action of people, we can call it as action of people. These are all the some areas where that loss may be. The second thing, system and technology failure, I told already. So that is one thing, hardware, another software, we can call it as systems. So hardware means traceable failures will be there, or physical equipment loss damages may be there. This failure is due to capacity. If they are not having the enough storage capacity or performance maintenance or obsolescence, some reasons due to the hardware, the data storage might have. Of course, software. Software is risk stemming from software assets of all types of, including programs, applications, and operating systems. In all the three areas, sometimes there may be some inadequacy, capability mistake, configuration management, or change of control, security settings, coding priorities, or any some lack of things may affect the end process. The end of the storage data may have missed or lost or something might have happened. This will lead to some loss to the company, which can be categorized as the second of system and technology failure. Of course, in this software area, system failure also affects the data storage. Failures of integrated systems are to perform as expected. Maybe due to design specification, integration, or complexity reason, the integrated system might have failed. That will also, because if a lot of data were saved for a certain period, and due to some technical reasons like some integration failure or complexity, suddenly it has scrapped due to the system link or something. Then the data so far stored might have lost, and that will lead to some great financial loss to the phone. These are all some important areas where system and technological failure to cyber. Of course, we can name the third thing as failed internal process. Every firm is having from right from the reception to MD or some other exit delivery of the goods, there will be a process. That process might have some deficiencies. That will also design to lead to some loss of data, information, or anything. The process design and or execution. There may be pakka process at times. The execution may have failed. So this failure of process of achieve their desired outcome due to poor process design or execution will lead to loss into the data storage or data loss. The process flow, process documentation roles, and responsibilities, notification, and alerts. These are all areas which have to be focused. In that element, the level of agreements and task and offer, these things will be taken care of, and safeguarding all those things will lead to proper process. When it fails, that will lead to the cyber risk. Of course, process control. Inadequate controls to the operations of the process. If there is a system with a proper workflow of process, and sometimes there will be inadequate controls. The people at a different controlling level might have not properly executed the process. Means the ultimate result, the end process will be failure. So totally overall data it will be having a risk. So this is the area where we have to check in the working areas. Of course, supporting process also there. That is failure of organizational supporting process to deliver the appropriate resources. Sometimes the people might be all the work in proper, but some extra support will be needed from the other side, management side or organization side. When it is not properly supported, then they will stop at a halfway. If halfway cooked also will last to the entire process and the result. So these are all the failure internal processes. And of course, external events also there. Catastrophes like events both natural and human in origin, over which the organization has no control and that can occur without any notice, like weather event, fire, flood, earthquake. All those things are out of control area. In those areas, if the company or the company's data storage affects, then the total loss will arise. These are all some reasons due to external control. Of course, legal issues. These are also some areas where external thing, it is not internal company related matter. The company has to face all those things which we can categorize into three types. One is regulatory compliance. Sometimes if a company is processing in a straight way, simple way, suddenly the regulatory authority will give guidelines. Don't do this and that. You do in different way. Likewise, they will tell all those things will be governed under the regulatory process. If the regulatory process is very strict, of course, it should be adhered. Whatever regular process is there, which may affect, and they have to either implement new system or new machines or new methods or recruit new employees or like that. The company will face this problem, and that will lead to loss due to cyber. Of course, similarly, regulatory compliance also. Next level is legislation. Some government policies will change the actual entire activities that will affect the firms processing all those things. And litigation. There may be litigations within the organization or trustees or within the family members or some ownership problems like that. So many litigation reasons are there. With all these legal issues, data and the company's process may come into risk. Of course, there are business issues. Risk arising from changes in the business environment of the organization. Supplier failure, market conditions, and economic conditions. If a supplier is not supplying in time or having proper methods to supply with products. Of course, market conditions, if buyers are not ready to buy the product in proper due to various reasons, and economic conditions are not supporting the thing. These are all some sort of which are affecting the company's income, and these reasons are external. Of course, service dependencies also there. Some sort of utilities, emergency services, fuel, and the transportation services. But these are all failed, means the company will fail. As we know, the insurance is for the coverage of uncertain event happen. Where comes the and this won't happen later or like that. In a particular time, this human will do this mistake or like that. We cannot predict or we cannot say anything. But like the last recent which we saw, natural loss and fire or something related to legal litigations or market conditions. These are all reasons which is out of control, but which may affect the entire process of the business and all those. So these areas, of course, we have listed it in 4 types: actions of people, system and technological failure, failed due internal process, and external event. All these reasons are, if these are all categorized into perils, that is risk of the insurance area, then these perils can be categorized with the valuable weightage, and based on the valuable weightage, how we can support to the people and how we can compensate is the very complicated issue by the companies which are going to give the insurance to this area, because how to calculate the unnatural or unpredictable in action, and how to calculate the loss which is to be happen. Because if we are taking a vehicle insurance, the vehicle insurance will have a IDV, that is insurance defined vehicle value. That value will be periodically reduced, and it has a value of the vehicle in insurance compensation, and that can be arranged. For human life, there is some method, that is human life value is calculated, and based on that human life value, the actual insurable amount can be arrived. Based on that, the person will be insured for the maximum quantity, because mostly these are all based on their income market. Of course, in any other perils like marine, cargo, or fire insurance, which are given with very reasonable calculations, and based on that the insurance premium is calculated as well as the insurance amount is arrived. But in this case of cyber risk, it is arriving the method of risk factor, that is premium as well as the risk amount, is little bit tough as well as very complicated process. Of course, this will be arrived at. So in America, the process is there. They are practically having some cyber risk insurance in their country. But for any other country in this world, even in Europe, there is only very few companies are having this knowledge about some, if we say 100 companies were inquired about the cyber risk insurance, insurability of cyber risk. Only 10% of companies are saying something about which is available with other country or something like that. But almost 90 companies in the Europe itself is not aware of the insurability of cyber risk. And a short while, since it is a world of digital world, and communication is fast, people will be getting a lot of information very short time. So things will be developed in short time, and it will spread over the world in a very faster manner. Of course, it is one of the need of the hour. Since it is being need of the hour, the methods will be arrived and everything will be developed. In the meanwhile, we can call it as, it is similar to the commercial property and liability insurance. It is similar to a liability insurance which is available in the market for worldwide. It is a very common this thing. Of course, commercial property insurance as well as liability insurance is worldwide very popular, of course. However, the property policies typically only cover damage of the physical assets such as production facilities and exclude cyber risk. As it is generally the case with the liability policy too. Possibly in the response to this situation, the specialized market providing coverage for the cyber risk have emerged in recent years, most prominently in the United States, of course. As it is, however, market coverage is relatively small. Moreover, outside the United States, insurance coverage for the cyber risk is not well known, as already I told. These are all the areas which commonly in the initial stage we can discuss with relate to insurability of cyber risk. And most other things may be something investigation or discussion of imagination. It will be away from the practicality and the possibility. That maybe we can discuss so many aspects, so many points which may affect, which may come like that. But these are all may be discussed with the actuaries and insurance companies and regulatories. Because in India, in a country like India, the complications are much more compared to any other country where the regulations are better allowed compared to India. Here the regulations are better left out without following. So when this kind of unusual insurability is taken into consideration by the insurance company, the company will get a very tough time to face the market, because in the initial period of health insurance, almost most of, even now in the market, if you go to a family and ask for insurance, they will come forward to take a health insurance. They will ask for health insurance. If it is explained, they will first choose a person who is elderly of the family and about 65 or something. They will ask for insurance of a person of having almost some disease. Actually, insurance is a thing. In this case, if something is normal and it is unpredictable thing is happening, means insurance coverage will be given. But health insurance area where India was facing is almost every family is interested to take insurance on a person who is not possible to insure. Of course, thereafter people are getting proper knowledge, means everything will change. So the insurance company is designing a policy in such a way that the composite policy for the entire family, right from the 0 years to 60 years, are like that. They are charging an overall composition and all those things, and then arrived at a moderate premium where 0 to 20 may not have any claim, even 0 to 40 may not have much claim, and the above 40, above 50 may have some claim and all those things. Then the company will never incur any loss and the insurance process will continue. Likewise, this insurance also have hasty problem. Some sort of misuse of this breach of this thing will be there. So to overcome all those things, it is very important for the insurance companies to arrive a very strict rules and very clear-cut framework. Then only they can come out with the insurance of this kind in India. Okay, I think these are all the information which I want to share. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. So, I would like to thank our resource person, Mr. Ethiraj, that is Zonal Development Officer, North Zone, Coimbatore. So, being this pandemic situation, he is ready to spend his precious time to our student. So, we are very happy, sir, and we are greatly thankful to you. So, I hope this session will be very useful for our students. They learn the principles of insurance and various occurrences of cyber risk and all. So, it will be our overview of cyber, that is insurability of cyber risk. So, it's one of the eye-opening session for our students. So, next semester they will study about one of the major core paper is the insurance principle and practice. I think this session will be that is a small introduction to our students. They will build some confidence in the mind of the students. What is basically insurance? What are the canon of insurance? What you explained is very clear and understandable manner, sir. So, on behalf of our AJK College of Arts and Science and our students, and on behalf of faculty members, I would like to thank you so much, sir. Have a nice day, sir. Thank you. Once again, thank you to all.